Dear Shutdown, my name isn't Shutdown. After nearly 5 years of transforming how people automate their connected lives, I can't read anymore. You didn't transform my life. Get a hold of yourself. If you are a Stringify user, perhaps you feel that way. And if you do feel that way, then come June, you're going to be really upset because basically they're just switching everything off and it is no more. So what is Stringify anyway, other than a terrible name for an application? Stringify, the idea is software on your mobile phone that connects different things together, like your Nest and your Philips Hue, and you could create flows that said things like, when my mobile phone touches my Wi-Fi network, then switch my TV on via my Harmony remote and set my Nest thermostat to a certain temperature and switch my lights on using Philips Hue. All of those good things. If you're wondering what happened to Stringify, the answer is very simple. Humans like money. They have taken everything they have learned from this project and they are now selling it to Comcast. That's the way I'm reading it. They will inevitably make some absolute monstrosity, monopolizing, terrifying home automation product that we'll all inevitably buy. That's what happened to Stringify. There are two types of alternatives. The first is software. This is a like-for-like replacement of Stringify, and we're going to go through some of those in a moment. And the second is hardware. Hardware solutions are things like Samsung SmartThings, which basically is a little unit that tries to control as many of your things as it can, and if it can't control something, like your Nest thermostat, then it will do so via some kind of third-party software integration instead. And it has its own application, and you use its application to control all of your stuff and control your Nest thermostat, and everything is built into that one unit and its software and makes you feel like everything is tied together. Let's go through some software alternatives. You know me. Horrible play on words. Horrible. This software is really cool. It works in a very similar way to Stringify. It's got buttons you can press. It's got flow type things that you can set up, routines basically. It can trigger a whole bunch of stuff. That is its pros. Here are some cons. The simplicity of Yonomi is beautiful, but it has one fatal flaw. Big name brands. If you're not a big name brand kind of a guy, you're kind of stuck because they've decided to make it only big name brand accessible and then not include if this then that. If you don't include if this then that and you're only going to stick in big name brands, people like me are going to be immediately turned off. There's no BROADLINK, there's no Sonoff, there's no if this then that, and there's no Tasker. I can't do anything with this unless I own a Nest thermostat and a Philips Hue hub and a Harmony remote system. All big expensive things. If you're that kind of guy, this is perfect, and I'm not doing it down. Get Yonomi if you like big name brand stuff. If this then that. This one is literally a no-brainer, i.e. you do not need a brain. It is made up of thises and that's, and the thises are the triggers, so they're anything that happens in the world you could possibly think of, and the that's are the things that you want it to do when those things happen. So again, you could connect your Nest thermostat to it and your Philips Hue to it and make it so that when your Nest thermostat reached a certain temperature, your Philips Hue lights would turn blue. I've told you this a few times before. If you've watched my channel before, you're going, shut up, Paul, we've heard all this. The two major pros to if this then that are, the first one, it is so simple to use you could probably fall on your computer and accidentally set up a working recipe. I'm not joking. The second one is that it connects to practically every smart home device in the galaxy. If a smart home device is worth its salt, then the company that owns it has connected it to if this then that, and you will be able to add it to a recipe and make it do things. If this then that has only two real problems, and the first one isn't really a problem at all. The fact is, it is very simple, and the consequence is you only have a this and a that. If I wanted to create a this that triggered lots of that's, tough, you can't. You would have to create instead multiple recipes that all had the same trigger. Not a major problem, just a little bit tedious and might take you a while if you had lots of things you wanted it to do. The second failing is that it lives on the internet, which means that every time you want to make a request of something, it has to go to the internet and then back to your house, and that might cause you a delay of 2 or 3 seconds, and I know you don't want to wait that long. Tasker. Stop leaving. I know that every time I say Tasker, somebody poops their pants and walks away. It is not scary, it's actually super straightforward, and it is the most malleable home automation software going. On one side you've got profiles, and that is the things it is listening for. That could be the time of day, or the sun going down, or a text message coming in from your girlfriend, or literally anything. It could be motion being detected by a motion detector. Off the back of that you've got tasks, and the tasks are the things it does when the profiles occur. And that could be anything from your Harmony remote blasting a signal to your TV to turn it on, to your lights being turned off or on by your Philips Hue. Anything you can think of, it can be done, and it has more connections than any other software has. Honestly, Tasker. I've used Tasker to do some pretty unusual things, like flick my mobile phone to cast whatever's on the phone to my NVIDIA Shield, or get it so that when my missus texts me, it will read the text out via Bluetooth to Alexa or Google Home. All of those tutorials are here. They're here. At least one of them is. You should go and check those out. They are a great way to get started with Tasker, and they'll teach you all of the basics, because they're actually really easy things to do. Tasker is Android only, so you can't use it on Apple. That is literally its only con, and I know you've got an Android device somewhere, whether it's an old tablet sat in a drawer, or it's an Amazon Fire Stick plugged into your TV, or an NVIDIA Shield. Somewhere in your house you have a device you can put Tasker on, and I assure you it's the best thing for your smart home you'll ever do. Hardware solutions wise, I'll keep this brief. They are the same as I recommended at the beginning of this video. Samsung SmartThings is a great starting point and will control Zigbee and Z-Wave devices without anything clever done from you. If you want to do slightly more clever things, you can connect it to third-party things like Harmony hubs and Philips Hues and all that good stuff. And if you're even more clever, you can just copy and paste some little bits of code off the internet and connect it to lesser name brand stuff too. The same is true of Hibbert, but Hibbert takes it a step further and works without an internet connection, which is a big deal for a lot of people. Not only that though, it kind of respects your privacy a lot more and says, what do you want to share with Alexa and Google Home? What don't you want to share with Alexa and Google Home? What do you want to keep within your property and inaccessible to the internet? Hibbert does everything SmartThings does, and a little bit more. It is slightly more nerdy, but not a great deal. Finally, there is Homey, and I'm going to tell you nothing about that, because I'm going to do a review of it soon. Make sure you stay tuned for that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button, come hang out with me at these locations and help support these videos like these amazing people here. You can be one of these people at Patreon or do me a one-off solid at PayPal and buy me a beer. Either way, I'll love you forever and I'll see you next time. And it's as simple as it's as simple as. This is going to make you go, ooh, that was easy. What? Ooh. Then you have to create lots of